What's happening, Shredder Nation? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another edition of Shred Your Body. I say this every week, but another week goes by, and I literally cannot freaking believe that we're already on episode number 42. I just sent out a message earlier today to the ER Shred board, reminding them of our celebration call that we have scheduled for the beginning of October to celebrate literally our 1 year anniversary since launching the ER Shred. And it has been absolutely, what would you say, Bob? Epic? Life-changing?
It's been boombastic.
Boombastic.
It's boombastic. Not bombastic. She misspelled it. She put boombastic.
I mean, it's been pretty
like
crazy, right? It's been pretty crazy to watch the live. Yeah, man, it's been crazy to watch the lives that have been changed. People changing on the physical level, the emotional level, the cellular level. I think we understood why it would work, but we didn't really understand the depth, right, that it would obviously go to, and how it would affect so many people from all different walks of life, no matter where they came from. So usually every Tuesday we do a deep dive. We do a deep dive where we share a story. We pluck somebody out of the ER Shred community, somebody who's done 4, 5, 6, 7 plus shreds, and they have just adopted the lifestyle. And every now and then we like to change things up. And my ER Shred ambassador, Mr. Bob Sievewright, obviously, thought it would be fun a little bit and do a deep dive from the opposite side, right, Bob? What is it you want to do? Tell everybody what your mission is and what we're planning tonight.
Well, my intention goes very deep, Jesse. There's a lot of depth here, as Sean said. No, and my intention simply is that I do want to ask a little more questions in terms of your background, bring it to light in terms of where Jesse Jamnik came from, how he came into Isogenics, how he evolved with his thinking and your integrative nutrition experience. But I really want to also get into the aspects of ER Shred, and we're going to cover everything from the beginning, the reason why we go to baseline, how we add foods back in, long-term, even, from a standpoint of working out, plateaus, to obviously the lifestyle. So we'll cover it all tonight. So we've got lots on the plate, but I want to start also with going deep.
That sounds like a lot of info. So we should probably giddy up and go, huh? If we're going to cover all that.
We're going to if you let me, I'm going to giddy up and go, but you got to keep be on point with your answers. Okay. As you said to me.
I got Bob telling me to be on point with my answers. Get out of here. Okay. Let's go.
This is good. All right. Well, Jesse, so going back from the very, very beginning, people are aware of the fact that you were with our fulfillment company. Being that you were big time, you're a trainer, you obviously have your nutritional background, you're doing your ultra marathons, you're doing your death races and so on. You're a pretty hard person to approach with Isogenics. So how did you hear about this nutritional intermittent fasting program, and what intrigued you originally to the company?
Okay, that's a loaded question. So let me correct something first. I'm just an average schmuck who likes to do crazy things, like run for a very long period of time. And that's all kind of come from a lot of depth. I realized that when I started lifting and started working out, it was really to suppress and hide a lot of the things that I was running from. That was like my feel-good drug. Some people turn to food. I got very lucky after growing up being overweight that I turned to lifting. Fast forward from that, once I got into the gym, Bob, it was like this addiction. It was literally like a drug, you know what I mean? And I spent a couple years down that bad path too. So I can tell you that it was literally like a drug, right? Like once I found it, it was like, whoa, game on, let's go. It was a whole new meaning because I don't know. I just felt.
So so what I'm aiming at, Jesse, is that as you're working out, you are obviously very focused on your fitness, your performances and stuff like that. Flip side of that is you were fully indoctrinated in the supplement industry and you knew just about everything. You tried everything. What was it that intrigued you about our fulfillment company the nutritional system that was someone introduced it to you. Who did it, and how did they get you interested, and what was your first experience?
Okay, so I do get where you were going, and I was just making the point that I'm not this crazy. I don't want to be put up as like this, like, you know, whatever. I'm just an average guy who's done this for many years and learned on the way. Okay, so what got me to it was I was working in a precious metal company, refining precious metals. A friend of mine, Tammy, my lab partner at work, knew that I was obviously big into working out, knew that I was slinging supplements out of the back of my truck. She caught me looking at actually a competitor at the time, Advocare, and she was like, oh, hell no, you need to check this out. And like out of nowhere did it. And at first I was like, nope, sorry, nope. Like I had a bad impression, been there, done that, played that game. Like, hell no, not after all these years. And fast forward 6 months after, research, did a bunch. She played a little trick, had her daughter, Tia, come in, who's a scientist, and she spit a little bit of science lingo to me. And that got me to drop my ego a little bit, dig a little bit deeper, and then finally just say, you know what, the hell with it, let's give it a shot. And my goal for saying yes was to prove it wrong. So I set an alarm in my phone for 30 days. And said, call Isagenix, tell them they suck like everybody else, and get your money back. That's how it started.
That's good.
Yeah.
So tell me your first experience. Did you do the 9-day? How did you approach the product?
No, at that time, you know, you started with that. I had the opportunity to buy what's called the value
30-day. Okay.
And I went like all in. Like I wanted everything at that point in time. It was supplements, it was eating, it was
bars, you got everything.
And I was doing so much, Bob, that I just wanted something that was clean across the board. Because after learning about the back end of supplements and how mischievous it is and how cross-contaminated and all the bullshit that goes on back there, I really just wanted something clean. And when that checked out, perfect. I was all in. So I did the whole.
How did you?
It's kind of like.
So when you say you did the whole thing, did you just fit it into your current program, like replacing other supplements you were using, or did you actually end up doing the 252, what we refer to as the core of the program?
Yeah, no, I
did
actually
you do that?
did that. I did that to start because I wanted to make sure that I would understand what it was.
Okay.
If I'm going to share it with people and tell people, just like I did the supplements that I slung out of the back of my trunk, I was excited about them because I used them and I thought that they were the best at the time.
Right.
So I needed to make sure that it worked for me.
So I want you to hold that thought because I'm going to come back to it and you'll see why I asked you that question. But one of the other things I wanted to point out is that you've been very successful with our fulfillment company. You're also part of Team Isagenix, which I don't know if a lot of people in the AirShred community are aware of that. But Team Isagenix, you basically have to apply to, more or less, right? Yeah. And you're considered a professional in your sport, or you are considered a significant, knowledgeable individual, and typically sports oriented. I mean, I know we interviewed Aaron. Aaron Harrison is part of Team Isagenix. You're part of Team Isagenix, but it's a select group. And that I think is wonderful because it's a testament to the program, to the quality of the products and the type of people that we've attracted. Now we're going to get into AirShred. I know Sean came to you. You've told the story a million times, but Sean came to you in early September probably and asked you to take a look at this. What do you think? I was one of those that said, oh my God, red meat. I don't know how that's going to work, you know, and I was very nervous. You had a different take, but you literally were willing to take a look at it. My question is that you were already pretty much had an idea of what it was like to live in a fat adaptive state, correct? In terms of how you personally ate. Yeah. You recognized that this would be a value add and you thought this is interesting. Let's see what happens. I guess this is my question. You had the experience from a nutritional aspect of what Sean and Crystal had created as far as using grass-fed meats, getting rid of all the culprits, etc. But this is what blows my mind. I had been, you know, luckily Peter brought me in. Peter brought in Dr. Ruggiero. I was lucky to get on the incubated shakes early. The bone broth, Dr. Plant mentioned, you can do it on cleanse days. So I was doing all of that, yet I still had the bloat. Now I could blame it on the pandemic, not going to the gym, working out, but basically me being 210, 215, which was my average, which I was stuck. I couldn't get any lower than that. That wasn't a good look, but I thought, okay, I look good for an old man. Okay. I think, okay, I'm not what I once was, but here's what I'm getting at. So finally you guys convinced me that, hey, you're not going to die from this. Why don't you give it 11 days? I do the 11 days, right? I had a complete transformation. I cut through 200 pounds like butter. I went to 195 from 208. And then I literally went, I'm 188, about 186 today, somewhere in there. But I'm not looking at the scale that often, but I continue to lean out. So I guess this is my question. What is it in your view that makes the ER shred so unique in a comparison? Because I think what I did before for 17 years served me, and it was wonderful. It was a great nutritional system, yet it didn't allow me to become a product of the product, the way we like to say it. I didn't think I was representing the way I could. And I tried everything. I was doing macros. I tried a number of different things to try to get my metabolism functioning in order for me to get lean, to get cut. Yeah. Now it's happening.
I got the answer.
Why is that?
I think I know. This is what I've, from my own experience of 20 years, from trying to help so many other people along the way. The biggest thing is, what I've noticed is the fitness and nutrition industry, we try to sell a magic pill. We try to sell this potion. We try to sell, eat this healthy and do all this, when we've never addressed the root cause of certain elements that are happening inside the body. And this gets really deep. We don't have time for all this, Bob, but we got to trace it back to farming. We got to trace it back to how the soil's being treated, where the animal's being grown, where that's coming from, and start to look at that as actual quality nutrition, meaning that it's nutrient dense, providing all of the stuff that the human body needs to function. And I've gotten to learn that just from trial and error over the course of years, right? So I think why this works so well is that a typical standard American diet, we have this sad food system already, right? Which is nutritionally deprived, if you will, lacking the minerals, lacking the trace minerals, lacking the nutrients that we used to have 60, 70 years ago in our food, right? You can trace it back further, but you got to think about this. So we take this sad system and then we restrict calories. Everybody talks about restricting calories. And while we're going to reduce the calories with the ER Shred protocol, we're not just pulling calories away from a sad diet. We're stripping it away, bringing the body back. But at the same time, and this is the crucial part, I believe, we are satisfying the human body by replacing what we've taken away with only nutrient-dense foods, vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that our cells have been crying for forever. And I think that's the biggest difference, Bob. That's the big difference right there in that elimination aspect, because it attacks inflammation, chronic inflammation, which we know is no good. There's nothing good with it whatsoever. And it allows the body to become alkaline. The body likes to be in a natural state. And we're able to do that with the ER Shred protocol without making people suffer, without making them starve, by actually educating them on proper eating along with proper supplementation. It's crucial.
Now I thought I was eating like a really good diet based upon what I thought was a good diet. And that is, I was having, I would have fish, I would have lean meats like chicken. I would do a lot of veggies, broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus. I had salads. I tried to watch the dressing. I was having balsamic vinegar, vinaigrette rather than, like Thousand Island dressing, that type of thing. But I guess what I'm getting at is the vegetables. And I did go vegan for a while. at the advice of a doctor. But my body broke down. I was aching and pains and felt miserable after about 7-8 weeks. But I guess the point being is that the idea of eating clean, like clean, lean meats and vegetables, that wasn't serving me based upon my bloat, how I felt, my fog brain. I mean, I think the biggest thing is I was worried I had Alzheimer's. I thought I might have early dementia. I mean, I was forgetting things, old names, high school memories, college things that I should remember, major events. I'm like, oh yeah, what was his name? What was that book I read? I just wasn't hitting on all cylinders. ER Shred got me there. It didn't happen in 11 days, but it was a process.
Yeah.
But there was a healing process that went on. And all I did was add grass-fed butter, grass-fed steaks, got rid of the lean meats, and got rid of all the veggies and fruits. And I did bring it in. And that gave me the opportunity, I guess, to heal my body. Is that what you would call it? We're going through a healing process?
For sure. Yeah. I think what we don't realize, Bob, is that we have completely lost control of where our food comes from these days. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I mean, I'm done arguing the fact, like it's just, if you just open your eyes a little bit to it, it's freaking everywhere. You know what I mean? Like we're outsourcing our organic fruits and vegetables from Mexico. They're being shipped to us. They're picked when they're not ripe. Like how, so I started to question, like, really, how good is this shit for me? Like, everybody says this is good for me, but why can't I go to the bathroom right? Like, I'm a healthy athlete, for crying out loud. Why don't I have a good bowel movement flow? Why am I like sitting on the toilet for so long when I'm walking my dog and my dog's going poo in like 2.2 seconds? You know what I mean? Like, something wasn't right. So it's not that they're horrible, but I'm always open to questioning, Bob. This is kind of how I've gotten to where I'm at now after all these years, is just being like, well, why is this? And when you start to kind of put all this stuff together, you know, I've just been fortunate to learn a little bit about farming and a little bit about microbiology and a little bit about, you know, pesticides and herbicides, and dig into that and all these different topips, right?
So let me ask you real quick about baseline.
But you're asking me about all these things, right? Maybe, just maybe, as humans, we actually weren't made to eat all this other crap that they tell us that we're allowed to eat. All this so-called healthy, like, I don't know, like animals don't change what they eat every day. You know what I mean? They live pretty damn good lives until their life is over. Like, I just, you know, like, I'm looking at the good, like the lions and the gators and like the sharks, you know what I mean? Like the killer whales, like, they just, like, you're not going to see a killer whale going to eat kale. You know what I mean? Like, they're going after seal for a reason. So maybe we have this thing, and we know that things like uncooked vegetables aren't good for people. So maybe that was damaging your gut and you didn't even know it, Bob. Or maybe some soy, or maybe some gluten, or maybe some other harmful pesticides and herbicides, because you were just putting it all in and you thought it was healthy. You thought you were eating this clean diet that we're promoted, right? We say heart healthy diet, right? Well, what the hell is that? Because every time that I hear of somebody going to a doctor and they're told to lose weight, they never come out with a plan. So what's a heart healthy diet? Like, what does that mean? So just start to question. Does that, am I on track with where you're at?
No, you're on track. I do want to cover, though, because we do have a lot to cover. I do want to get back to getting the why is it so critical that we get the baseline? And yeah, I know you give us the tracks to follow for 11 days. That's all it. But here's the question. The follow-up question is this. The 11 days, in my view, is the absolute minimum. Everybody's unique and different, but it might take you 2 back-to-backs to get to baseline, right? Or do you think we can achieve it in 11 days? No. That was my question.
No. So baseline is, what baseline is removing all of the inflammatory foods, basically what I call poison, the flour, the sugar, the stuff that serves zero nutritional value or purpose inside the body, okay? And only fueling the body with what I like to call rocket fuel, vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. That's baseline, right? Bring the body back, knock out inflammation, get the body back to alkaline state. So we did touch on that, but that's the beauty of baseline. And until you've been there, Bob, you can think you're eating right, but how do you actually know until you've played around with something like an elimination diet?
Right.
And it's beautiful because with the shred, unlike the others that I practiced in the past, people are excited about this one. People are looking forward to another one. So I don't think that if you come into this okay, I'm going to do this for 11 days. Yes, that's a great start point. Like, I got to go to 11 days, but you got to have a backup plan after that. Because again, this is lifestyle. Like, we're not looking to, we got to stop this nonsense of like 11 days. Like, you just spent 12 years, dude, 14 years trashing yourself. We got to stop this thing that's going on in the world where everybody wants a quick freaking fix. It doesn't exist. It's never going to exist in the nutrition world. And if anybody preaches that to you, you should probably run far away because it's bullshit. Like,
so we can
people got to come into it going, okay, 11 days, but I need to take what I learned and continue to carry that with me. You can't just go back to what trashed your body in the first place of why you said yes. Why would we flip-flop back? So I just wanted to I don't think 11
That's perfect. So I did the 11 days, but then I'm like, holy cow, I feel really good. I'm like, this is crazy. And I have done back-to-back cleanses, so that wasn't a big deal for me to go to just do it again. I thought, well, I'm going to continue with this. And the crazy thing is that the second 11 days, I felt even better. It was like one of these things, the longer I stayed on the tracks and didn't vary, the better I felt. Yeah. And I'm like, this is incredible. I know I spoke to you. Thankfully, I realized that my gut wasn't going to heal itself in 2 weeks. For me, it was actually closer to 3 months to where all of a sudden I'm like, wow, things are starting to work the way they were designed to work, which in my body, that never happened. But thankfully, this got me on that right process, not too much information. But here's what I wanted to talk about. This is kind of what Sean talks about, the depth. I think it's beautiful that you've created a system where we are allowing people to decide for themselves. This is the empowerment aspect that you talk about, right? And there's a huge difference from someone saying, Jesse, oh my God, I feel great. Can I do it again? And we say, of course you can do it again. Hell yeah, go for it, right? But we want people to arrive at that decision themselves. We don't want to tell people, this is what you have to do out of compliance. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, we're completely different. It's a little bit scary. Everyone is they're programmed to be told what to do and when to do it and how to do it, right? And they kind of freak out when you say, just do this for 11 days. Well, what do I do after that? Don't worry about it. Just do it for 11 days. And typically the answer we hope for is, can I do it again? Now, given your experience in nutrition, with cleanses, with everything, have you ever seen this phenomena happen before, even with our old fulfillment company, where people go through the 11 days and literally come to you and ask you, can I do it again?
No.
I've never seen that myself in 17 years. I've asked Sean, he said, I've never seen it before. I know Tony Escobar said he's never seen it before. There's something so magical going on. What do you think it is? Is it just a switch in the brain where you're feeling good? Or why do you think it's so different? Is it just getting rid of all the culprits? Is it that simple?
Well, it's as simple to say it, but it's complex in what it's actually doing. Mm-hmm. It's so complex. And when somebody is struggling and you get a person that's tried for years, or they've been told one thing and they feel like they're trying, they're doing everything, they're not getting where they need to get to. I mean, look, the reality is, Bob, people feel like crap. People fake every day. They walk around with fake smiles. They don't actually feel good every day. And that's sad. That's very sad to me. And people are good fakers, right? They do a good job. And I think when you feel good, you start to, it's a combination of like, one, why would you not want to feel good? Two, oh my God, there's hope. Three, I can actually do it. There's all these different things. And for each person, it's going to be different, right? And then you wrap that up with this amazing community that we've added in for everybody, which is
crazy good.
Break, in my opinion. Like, if you don't have time to play in the community a little bit, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, you wrap that up with that, and it kind of helps you get through, because I already know from a coaching standpoint, Bob, the average person's going to hit 11 days, and they're going to be in their mind, like the average typical person that we always see is, all right, I did 11 days, like, time to reward myself. And if that reward switch is automatically turning to something that triggered you in the past, aka food, aka alcohol, whatever, like you're not clean yet. You know what I mean? Like, so you have a choice to make. We're teaching you to make that choice and live with that consequence. If you choose to go back, you're going to feel like crap really quick. So you get to find out that magic for yourself. And then you get to make that choice. Like, okay, I don't want to feel like this because I just experienced what I felt like. And I want more of that. And people then make that decision. So we offer the solution. They raise their hand. They say yes. They come alive. Then they have that choice to stay and continue, or they go away, but then they come back. And people are starting to realize that the longer you do this, it's not a punishment to be healthy. In fact, it's the opposite. It's the complete opposite. You're giving yourself so much more value in life by giving yourself that gift of health to do whatever you do, and you learn to balance fun and manage life and still, like, what everybody thinks you don't do, like have fun and all that. I don't know. I do the complete opposite. I have fun every freaking day, even working hard. Does that make sense?
Well, one of the things that I love about our community is that I hope it keeps people engaged on the aspect of what's possible, because I mean, honestly, this is so simple, but like you said, it's so complex. But what's really cool is that it doesn't matter if you are in your 80s, your 70s, 60s, if you're in your 20s, if you're male, female, if you're an athlete, if you're a couch potato, everybody is getting great results, right? It's amazing. Yeah. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you is that it does benefit you is we want to set expectations. I don't think it's realistic, and maybe we're getting bad at this because we're chasing the dream, or at least I am. I'm thinking now I'm like, I'm so motivated. I'm going to get back in the gym. I'm going to work out because now I have a new goal because I see that it's achievable. Whereas before I wasn't getting there. My question is, I think it's really good that we set expectations for the community, because we've abused our bodies for years, right? And I don't think it's realistic to say, hey, it's going to be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, I'm going to look like Jesse, or I'm going to look like Sean. It's a process, right? And it's a journey, but once you, I think, buy into being healthy, I guess this is the better way to look at it. Once you buy into being healthy, the longer you can serve your body with foods that serve you, right, the better off you're going to be. This isn't, you didn't become Jesse Jamnik because you decided on 2012, which I know you did 20 years earlier than that, to decide to eat healthy. You see what I'm saying? It took years for you to get where you're at today.
Yeah. So yes, I agree. But what was tell me the question real quick.
I want to set expectations for the group as far as what they're going to have results, but I think one of the worst things is to judge yourself against others.
Yeah.
And also maybe in your mind think, oh, I should be here, when there might be a lot of other things. Susan brought this up. There could be a lot of things going on, from things like candida to your hormones. It could be your age, where you've been, your activity, your level of exercise, muscle memory comes into play. There's a lot of things that will affect the time frame of your outcome, right? This isn't, it's close to saying it's one size fits all, but at the same time, I think sometimes some people get disappointed. They get like, oh, I'm only down 6 pounds and I'm only, whatever. And you're like, are you kidding me? Right? You're down 6 pounds. When did you lose 6 pounds?
So I think this is multifaceted. People think like that because, unfortunately, we're bombarded with billions of dollars worth of shit ads, quite frankly, that are promising, take this pill and lose weight. You can still eat potato chips. You can be lazy as all hell, bread, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's this fake thing. And then it's all this Photoshop and magazines and this and that, and everything's changing. And oh my God, Bob, it's out of control. So people have to do that inner self work. It's a lot of inner self work. And we hear this thing all the time: comparison's the thief of all joy. And it's cliche. We've heard it a lot. But how about, instead of just going, oh, I heard that again, how about we stop doing that crap to ourselves? And listen, that's easier said than done because I still do it. Okay. Like, I don't think we ever become perfect. I don't know why we feel we have to strive for perfection. Unfortunately, I ruined like a good chunk of my life trying to do that and be somebody that I thought somebody else needed to see or whatever, versus like innerly self-loving myself, which is still a work in progress too. Right. So why do I bring that up? Because it's all part of the journey, Bob. You know, health is not this physical thing. Like, it's like, first of all, do you really want to do what I do? What's your purpose of doing that? I don't do what I do to have the muscles. Now you might go, oh, that's easy for you. No, I'm serious. It's been so many years that like, I personally don't give a shit. Like, does it feel good? Do I feel confident? Do I like the way that it makes my clothes fit? Yes. I'm not going to stay here and lie, but that's so superficial crap. Like, for me, it's about the longevity of having daily quality of life to play with my kids, or to be able to work like I do, or to show up for loved ones, or to, oh my God, this bad thing in life just happened. Okay, I can deal with this. Like, I can do hard things because I've done this over and over and over again. So I show up for healthy, and I want people to focus on that. If I can preach anything, Bob, it's that, not the superficial thing of stuff. So people have to realize that it's so unfair because you're coming from a different place. You're coming from a totally different place of your health, your history, your background. How were you taught? Was your mom and dad taught wrong and they taught you wrong? Were their parents taught wrong and then they taught them wrong and they taught you wrong? Like, how many generations has shit been going on for? You know, we always hear this thing like, well, that's genetic. Is it genetic, or is it genetic bad shit information that's been passed on over and over again? So when we're doing this, Bob, people have to realize that some people, it could take 6 months to feel like where you go, wow, I really feel good today. And at the end of the day,
I like that. I like the authenticity and the honesty in the group. And we will have people saying, I'm on a 5th or 6th shred. And it's finally hitting like, oh my God, now I understand why.
But why is it important for somebody not to stress out about that? Because 6 months, okay? Like, we sell ourselves that 6 months is a long period of time. Listen, 6 months from now is going to be here whether you do A, B, and C or not. So if you do A, B, and C, and it takes 6 months to get to that ultimate goal, are you telling me it's not worth it because it took 6 months and you didn't have rocket shit happen in 11 days? Like, we got to just stop with this bad storytelling and these assumptions and these things that we think.
I know I want to get to, I got all these questions to get to. One of the things I wanted to get to is we get to baseline. And one of the bigger questions in the group is always, how do I introduce foods, and how would you tell people to go about that? I know I went incredibly slow because I was terrified to put anything in my body. But
I'm so glad you brought this up, because it's like, you know, I don't mean to laugh, but it's like, this reminds me of female bodybuilders that unfortunately were told, like, eat 4 pieces of asparagus, don't go over, like, and they come out and they're like, I don't know what to eat. Like, oh my God, like the ER shred, listen to me closely, please. The ER shred was never intended to make this some diet where you can't eat food. It's the opposite. But in order to get to a place what food is serving you, meaning that it provides you energy. Bob, have you ever eaten a food before where it sucked your energy dry and you felt really bad?
Absolutely.
Okay. Have you ever eaten a food where after you ate that food, you felt more energized and then you were more focused and you wanted to actually do work and perform life better?
My butter coffee.
Okay, good. So you understand the bigger thing, right? Like, so our goal is understand that we can't help people get healthy unless we address the root fundamental causes of what's going on first. And from my experience of learning from really smart people, 10 times smarter than me in the functional medicine space and holistic world, we have to address the root causes of any major disease, which is inflammation and the body being out of whack. Okay. So the ER shred has to start there, because it has to be Bob, if you build if you build this beautiful home on a bad foundation, over time, is that beautiful home going to stand or crumble?
It crumbles. So
that's what will happen with our health. So we do the ER shred and then we build in. So when you go to add foods, Bob, okay, here's the question. Here's your answer. But it's important to understand the base, right? Now, when you get to a place, if this takes you 3 shreds, 4 shreds, 5 shreds, I don't care. You don't have to add foods in between if you don't want to. But eventually, there are foods that are wiser to start with than others. Am I going to go back to adding gluten and grain and flour and sugar? No, that would be idiotic of me, right?
Catastrophic, right?
I'm going to go to things like olives, which are fermented, and sauerkraut, and I'm going to feed the good gut bacteria that I just helped, manage inside my gut. I'm going to give them good foods that I know fuel them. I'm going to feed them hard cheeses. I'm going to feed them squashes. I'm going to try vegetables, but I'm going to go one at a time because I found out that when I eat broccoli, I get instantly bloated, and you don't want to be around me. When I eat a raw salad these days, which I used to eat miles, I can show you pictures of my dinners that I used to be like, eat more salad. Holy shit, was that crazy? Now I do that, and it's like, watch out. You don't want to be around me. You know what I mean? No protein farts, veggie farts.
Yeah, it's been 10 months for me, and I've not had a salad in 10 months.
Okay, so people don't, but listen, people can do what they want, Bob. If people just want to stay with a limited food group, I don't want you to be deterred by anybody. Like, it's nobody else's business if you are sick of eating the same food or not.
But to get the best results, I mean, here's my thought. You work so hard for 11 days. Let's say you do back-to-back and you're doing it for 22 days. You work really hard to get to a baseline. You owe it to yourself to go slow, to find out what are the culprits, right? I mean, that would be my best advice, not just go back to quote unquote eating normal. Oh, I had pizza and you added in 6 or 7 things that also could be culprits. As you said,
I would
go
not
slow.
recommend, like, if you do that to yourself, Bob, listen, again, people have spent years. I don't know how many, but most of them have spent multiple years. I think it's safe to say people that have come and found or whatever, they've probably spent 5 years or more, not actually fueling their body at a cellular level. Okay. So if you get to baseline and you, after 11 days, go to cheat with, some bread that's going to spike your insulin. And again, it's only been 11 days. You can't expect magical miracles in only 11 days. Although you're going to feel amazing. Although we've seen amazing results, although people come back with great weight loss and inches lost, and it looks like they lost 5 years because inflammation's gone and their skin's breathing again, for crying out loud. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the human body's functioning and pumping blood the way it should. And holy shit, this is how it should be. So people are going to see that in a short period of time. But long-term health, Bob, it takes much longer. So we need to go. Why would you put that bad food in? You want to keep serving the body. You're absolutely right. Keep going with good foods.
So
you haven't broken the habits yet either.
So I've listened to Jesse, which I did, thankfully. I stayed on the tracks. I didn't deviate at all. I think I did green beans, and then I did broccoli. Same thing. I've had broccoli once in the last 10 months. That was enough for me. Brussels sprouts once. Enough for me. I've had green beans and asparagus. Those are the only 2 vegetables that I've had. My question is simply this. If we follow the directions, the goal at the end of the rainbow is fat adaptation. You're fat adaptive. Let's talk about what it means to be fat adaptive versus functioning off of sugar, carbs.
Okay. So we're going to keep this answer really simple. There's only 2 ways for the human body to get its energy source. One of them is by fat, and one of them is from glucose, carbohydrates, and sugars. Okay. Most of us we've trained our body with the American diet that we have today, with the high carbs and the flour and everything else. Like, we've trained ourselves to function off of glucose, carbohydrates, sugar. What we don't realize, or what I've come to realize through independent work, a lot of self-study, testing it out with all different walks of people, and learning from, a science community that's not backed by an end factor, meaning they're not steering vegetation, veganism, or they're not steering carnivore, but like they're neutral, learning from that place and really just trying, you learn that the human body thrives off of fat. 90% of us, 90% of our body actually can function and function better when you're fueling it off of fat. Your brain, on the other hand, loves its glucose, loves the sugars, loves that. It can ER shred is beautiful because this isn't stripping so far back like keto. We're not going 20 grams or less, which I don't know. Like I've seen some bad stuff come out about that, and I've never heard somebody be able to do that long term. We're giving the body the balance of what it needs, but the carbs that we're using are very strategic in the shakes and such, and then other veggies that we're going to add back in. I get them through chia seed and flaxseed and good quality, high premium nut mixes like pecans and walnuts and almonds, and you can get some good carbs. Like this isn't about, again, stripping away whatever, Bob. It's about identifying the foods that are really giving us what we need to fuel and function off of being fat adapted. Really what the actual goal is metabolic flexibility. It's actually not even just fat adapted.
So I was going to go, let's talk about that. So I'll use myself as an example. I've got diabetes in my family. My dad was a skinny diabetic. My grandfather died of a heart attack from diabetes. He was thin.
Yep.
The bottom line, I noticed that as I aged, that my insulin levels, they were referring to me as becoming more insulin resistant, which is not a good thing, right? No. Which you're borderline pre-diabetic. They start to watch things. I mean, they're looking at your blood panel and saying, okay, this isn't good, the direction you're going in, the trends. When I did this program with ER Shred, everything flipped on a dime. Everything that I was told is bad for me, grass-fed butter, lots of red meat, that obviously turned everything upside down for me in a good way, and like in an alarming good way. Here's the biggest thing was the aha for me is that I was an athlete my whole life. I worked out forever. I mean, there was periods of times where I didn't, but I was the type of person that because I functioned on glucose, because I was a carb addict, I had to eat before a workout. I couldn't go into a workout fasted, meaning I didn't have anything in my body. I would never make it. I would have a sugar low and I would crash and burn. So I always had to have oatmeal, maybe a couple of eggs. I had to have a meal in, wait an hour, then go work out. What I've noticed today, and I asked Sean this, and he said this is the same thing happening to him. All I need is 2 cups of my bullet coffee with grass-fed butter, which I put about 2 tablespoons, maybe more in of each cup. And that's enough to fuel me for a full 2-hour workout. I mean, a great workout. And I don't have a low. That's the craziest thing. I can push myself harder than ever before, but where before I would judge myself based upon me hitting a low, like my sugars are getting low, like, wow, I'm tired. I got to call it quits. Boy, that was a good day in the gym. I got to look at my watch and say, wow, I actually been going at this for almost 2 hours. I think it's time to take a break. It's my body adjusting to the realization that I'm functioning differently burning fat than how I functioned when I was burning glucose. Does that make sense?
Well, the simple answer is yes. So because you can only store so much energy in the body in the form of glycogen, right? Glucose sugars or fat. Now, fat you can store over 100,000 calories worth of energy. Sugars you can store 2,000. So I was the same way. Like training as an endurance athlete before taking on this lifestyle again when we launched this, because I tried this before in some way, not exactly the same, but taking this on again, you know, it's understanding that that's what it feels like. The body's always fed. You notice how you're not really ever starving anymore either. You just like hunger starts to creep in little by little. You're like, okay, I could fuel myself. Like, so what I do now, Bob, is I literally eat big portions throughout the day, but not nearly as much. I used to eat like 8 times a day, right? And now what I find myself is I fuel up on proteins and fats, and sometimes that can be 600, 700, 800 calories, because my goal again is 3,500 or 4,000 a day for my athletic performance of what I'm looking to do. That's my goals, okay? So I eat that much at one time, and then I'll go for hours without fueling. I'll also learned throughout time. We're not going to get into all this, but there's strategy behind timing it around workouts, pre-workout, intra-workout, post-workout. You can start to play with those types of things depending upon what goals are.
Okay, that brings up a good question. So here's the thing. This is what I would tell our group, what I've learned from you. Don't overthink it, because if you do get to the point where you're fat adaptive, we used to always think in terms of, what am I going to have for a pre-workout? What am I going to do for a post-workout? Yeah. I literally am, like Sean says, it's all about the feels. If I'm hungry, I eat.
Yeah.
If I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm not hungry, I don't think about it.
And eat until you're satisfied. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm mindful about getting 2 shakes in a day, because I feel better when I do 2 shakes.
Okay. But let's give people, let me share with you my reasoning behind why I decided this is the way that I choose to live the rest of life. Because I believe that you can still be very healthy and eat your carbs and have your pizzas and do your things. Like, if that's what you want to do, go for it. However, what I've come to the conclusion of learning is that when I eat certain foods, my blood sugars spike higher than when I eat other foods. So I know that when I spike blood sugars higher and crash them down and stuff to that nature, and I want to go and like be an idiot and have the ice cream and the cookies and whatever the heck the case is, like I used to do, right? What I'm doing is I'm breaking down my system and its designation of how it was designed to function.
Over time, that will lead to, if you do choose to live that way, over time, that will lead to insulin resistance.
This is what I'm saying. This is why, right? So for me, when I'm choosing to be mostly fat adapted now, but metabolic flexibility, to meaning that if carbs are present, my body can boom, utilize them real quick, burn them, and then my body's going to shift right back over into burning fat, because that's what I've trained it to do. That's metabolic flexibility. Okay. So I want my body primarily burning fat. There's all sorts of good stuff that happens in that stage. Okay. Energy, longevity, workouts, but mostly the reason is for cellular health, in my opinion. And that's where the cleansing and stuff, like, I want healthy cells I want healthy cells making more healthy cells. You know what I mean? Because over time, as my skin cells replace themselves every 28 days, and my red blood cells replace themselves every 3 months, and my brain cells replace themselves, I want that shit getting better. Like,
well, it's the same. Aging. It's same to say, like, our gut health. Good bacteria versus bad bacteria. That doesn't happen overnight in terms of your gut balancing in a good way.
It also didn't get bad overnight. So people got to remember, it's going to take time. But to balance out the gut flora, I mean, you're talking about a process, right? It's like you can't start lifting weights and expect to be Arnold Schwarzenegger and have the biceps tomorrow. You can't start a business today and expect to become a multimillionaire tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? Like, so yes, it's a process, and people got to understand, like, why would you keep doing it? Well, one, I don't view what we do as a punishment in any way. I cringe when I hear people like kind of be like, oh, you can't eat. No. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I can eat anything I want. I choose not to eat this because of what I'm explaining to you and because of how I feel. And if people could just focus on that, Bob, like focus on those bigger pictures, it's a lot easier to make good decisions.
In the early days for me, I kept telling Sean, I was terrified of putting a carb in my body because I felt so damn good. I was terrified of putting something in my body that would make me feel less than. I just didn't want to do it. I mean, why? And I'm that way. I went to Mexico, had a couple drinks. I had some chips and guac. 4 days in, I felt like hell. I mean, I had to eat what they served, but I was trying to eat fajita meat, stuff like that. But the point is that diet didn't serve me. And after 4 or 5 days, I was like, get me out of here because I'm not sleeping well.
Okay. I think this will help people. I just went on my last summer vacation with my family, right? I tried to stay off social media, so there wasn't much posting because that was my mission this year was 2 vacations. Don't get on that shit every day. Like, engage in life, real life, create the memories. So take the pictures, but don't post every day. So I went on the vacation. The second vacation, we drove to Vermont. We visited my Crystal's parents for a few days. Then we went to Rhode Island, spent that time with my sister. Now, my Crystal's parents, right? taking care of 2 kids right now. Life is crazy. Life is stressed. Like, they are the best, nicest people in the entire world. They always try to feed me what I want. Like, what's Jesse eating these days? Because I'm like, they've known me for 8 years and they've seen me like go through these different things, right? So Crystal's like, he eats meat and eggs and butter. And I stayed on concept, Bob, but for those days, it wasn't pasture raised eggs. It wasn't grass fed steak. It wasn't grass fed butter. But I was still in the concept of what I teach. Now, I'll be honest with you. It messed with my gut for a couple of days. My bowels weren't right. But is that ultimately going to take me away? No. People got to stop stressing about these little ones and twos, these types of things, right? Like, I need people to stress more, Bob, on keep showing up every day. And even if every day is not perfect, if 80% of the day is good, you freaking win. And over time, built up 80%, 80%, 80%, 80%, it's going to ultimately win. And my point to the story is, no matter how disciplined you want to be and how dedicated you want to be, this program is giving you that baseline, but then it's giving you the flexibility to learn and bounce and go and, just be okay with yourself, right? And go through
one thing I've learned is that 10 months in, the longer I've stayed clean, eating like this, the more sensitive my body becomes to things that are toxic to it, or culprits, if you will. A culprit today hits me like a ton of bricks compared to maybe it was an awareness like, oh, well, that wasn't so good in November. But in August or September, coming up here in September, if I were to have broccoli, it would be a lot worse for me, in my opinion. And it's that and because of that, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I don't know how to explain it. I don't crave even having a damn beer. I think I had a couple beers in Mexico, but I'm an old Scot. I mean, I used to drink alcohol like it was like firewater. I mean, easy. Because I don't crave it anymore.
Because we've associated everything that goes on, right? Like, we've had these stories that have been made up by marketing companies and industries to tell us, you should drink at every occasion. You're celebrating friends. You're rewarding. You're cheersing. You're whatever.
I guess the point being is that I still drink, and to some people, like my wife would think, to an excess almost, like, holy cow, you can drink a lot. Well, she's a teetotaler.
Yeah.
But I drank like that with our former program, where I was eating a balanced 30-30-30 zone diet, carbs, balanced fats, so forth. I drank then. Now, under ER Shred, I'm just saying I don't have the desire to drink at all. I just don't even care to even look at it. It's like I look at it and I go, it doesn't mean like, oh, that would taste good. I just don't even desire to have it.
I get what you mean. Okay, so here's the thing. What you've done, Bob, is you've filled the body for so long with such dense nutrition. Your body's fueling on the cellular level. Listen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Like, can you enjoy alcohol? You can, but listen, let me just tell you, there's zero good to alcohol. Okay. It's freaking sugar. It goes straight to your liver. It's not providing you nutrition. If you want to enjoy it responsibly, like you and I do, I have a beer every now and then. I can go on vacation and drink 5 beers for an entire week. And I'm like, yeah, like, this is cool. Like, it affects me differently, but I also know it doesn't serve me. And my purpose of going on vacation has changed to where in my younger years, it was party, party, party. And now it's create memories, have fun, be in the zone, be able to wake up at 4 a.m. to catch sunrise or climb a mountain to catch sunrise, show my kids what the world looks like before everything else wakes up. Like, my meaning in life has changed. You know what I mean? And people can do that. So you can make that change. And this program gives people that flexibility. You can choose what you want to do.
I think that's the lesson here, is that if you listen to Jesse, right, and if you stay on the tracks and you decide that, hey, I feel really, really good, I think I'm going to eat like this more often, over time, what you're going to find is that this isn't hard because you actually feel so good. I don't feel deprived. You don't feel deprived. No. People look at me like I'm weird. Like, don't you get bored just eating salmon or steak every night? I'm like, no, I've had steak 6 nights in a row. Tonight's steak was beautiful. It was as good as last night's steak, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, I don't know, dude. Like, I just, like, eventually also too, again, big picture, I don't know where somebody's at, so don't go ham on this. But eventually, when you get to a balanced point, and Bob, that might take a year for some people, okay? It might take a lot of work. But when you get to a point where you're kind of just thriving, like you're healthy, things are good. Like when I was on vacation, with my nieces and nephews, I stopped, we went out, we brought the girls to a beach. We caught sunrise again. We took the dogs, and I said, "Hey, girls, we're going to stop for a special treat." Okay. We stopped at Seven Stars Bakery, up in Providence, Rhode Island. Handmade bakeries, absolutely delicious. The kids all got a cinnamon bun, and Crystal got a bear claw. I had a little tiny piece of this like donut, and when I ate it, it didn't even affect me how it would some people, because it tasted so high in sugar that I was like, this doesn't even taste good anymore. It's amazing how things change for you. So, but I didn't feel like I was missing out, and I didn't feel like it was bad for the kids either, right? Because I knew what was going to happen. The kids are going to go, "Oh, I'm hungry in a little bit." And this is what happened. Their blood sugar spiked. Then they started crying. And then what did they want? They wanted a pop. I said, "Nope, we're going to eat some real food now." And they all had a shake. And then I didn't hear again for hours that they were hungry. So that's just another example. Like, why am I sharing these stories? So people can see the balance of life, because that's what it was all about. This long-term balance. You got to find that balance on your scale. And it's
so I got another question I got to fit in here, Jesse, about, okay, so we're fat adaptive. In the past with our old program, when someone would hit a plateau, and I know I typically would notice this if someone had to lose more than 50 pounds, that they would typically hit a plateau at about 50 pounds, and then they'd hit it again maybe at 100 pounds.
Yeah.
But we would tell people to increase their protein to get through that plateau. But now that you're in a fat adaptive state, do you see people still having plateaus? And if they do hit a plateau, what do you recommend they do? Or is that just the body taking a pause?
It's always going to happen. It's always going to happen. This is, again, the journey. It's a journey. You got to take it in phases, okay? So your body is so toxic, it's so out of whack, that when you first start something and you clean things up, meaning that you take away the poison and you only give it the rocket fuel, of course you're going to see amazing results. Like, you're actually allowing the body to do what the body's designed to do, which is be amazing. But eventually the alkalinity is going to balance. You can cleanse and take out the toxins, right? You can have this system. And we factor in what's called total daily energy expenditure, which is how much energy are you burning to maintain homeostasis and to maintain the exercise level that you are particularly engaged in, if there is any whatsoever. You don't have to be engaged in it. Now, what's going to happen over time, Bob, as body composition changes, meaning that you're now holding on to more lean muscle, you're shedding the visceral body fat, the inner organ fat, your metabolic needs are going to change. Susan is screaming, "Finally, thank you." I know, Susan. So your metabolic metabolic needs are going to change. You need to now recalculate your total daily energy expenditure when you hit that plateau. Because what happens if your body's functioning and your metabolism is faster now? What happens if you're digesting foods better? What happens if you're absorbing things better now? And you are. What happens if all of a sudden you have more energy and, hey, I'm walking 3 miles a day and I was doing nothing but sitting on my couch before? What happens if I'm now lifting weights? Your needs are going to continue to change. And the only thing that needs to change is how much fuel you need to give your body in order to hit the goal that you're pursuing. So again,
is it safe to say that people will be hungry enough to recognize that just because of their level of activity, that they're like, "Oh, I need to eat more"? Or do you think people really need to track that?
I don't think they need to go crazy, but I do think that there's a time and a place where tracking calories, especially at the beginning of your journey, can actually help, because it can put a correlation to what kind of energy and how much energy. Notice how I'm not speaking in calories, Bob. I'm speaking in energy, because that's what we're putting in is energy. So are we putting in rocket fuel energy, or are we putting in garbage energy. That's
Right.
calorie. And based
Well,
on
calorie, you can't measure calorie. It's a designation of energy, but it's not like you can say a calorie is measurable except for in a scientific lab. I mean, it's not.
It's a degree of heat. It's a degree of heat.
Exactly changing water 1 degree heat. So the thing is, though, what I have noticed, and this is probably for everybody, you're absolutely correct. It's counterintuitive, but in order for you to continue to have the success you're having, muscle burns more energy than fat. So as your body's putting on more muscle, your composition's changing. You have more muscle mass versus fat, or fat's declining, and your muscle's going up. You're going to burn more energy. So as a result, this is the counterintuitive aspect. In order to keep fueling that furnace, you have to eat more. You can't eat less.
And this is where the mental mind F of everybody's past knowledge haunts them. And you need to be strong enough to be willing to unlearn what you think you know as the truth and try something different. Have a little bit of faith. There's plenty of examples of this. I literally just got a message from one of our shred warriors, Nicole Hayes, right? We know Nicole. She's had like a 50+ pound weight loss. She's like a brand new person. She's helped other people. She reached out, and her coworker, exact same situation. She stopped. She lost 40+ pounds and she stalled. I said, Nicole, you have to trust me. I need you to add 200 more calories in the form of protein and fat. So that's a protein shake with maybe a tablespoon of MCT oil, or a couple tablespoons of more butter, or some other form of healthy fat. And people have this, have been trained that if we eat more, we'll gain more weight. No, if you're eating
the opposite,
proper foods that your body is properly digesting and properly utilizing the nutrition that you're putting in, notice all those points at this point in time, it's a very different situation than if you're overeating in the past of all sorts of empty junk.
So an example, a quick example of that is you could tell people to do a scoop of isopro and maybe a tablespoon of coconut oil and blend it with ice cubes and slam it before bed. That's not going to cause you to gain weight at all, will it? And it'll actually help fuel your metabolism.
Yes. Or somebody could even add a tablespoon of MCT oil to a shake after it's been incubated when they go to blend it again. And that's 120 calories of amazing fat. You see, we're only giving the body a little bit more. So you nailed it, spot on, Bob. Like,
so I know you're saying MCT oil, but MCT oil, they'll sell it, right? I mean, I think you also got to be careful, Jesse, which ones you get, because there's some good and some bad, I think. Some of them may load up with junk.
Absolutely.
So you got to be careful with that. Another thing I've done is unrefined coconut oil that's organic from Costco. I will throw that a tablespoon in my shake. I actually put that tablespoon of that into my butter. But the thing that's nice about that is it makes the shake creamier. If you're looking from a texture standpoint, you can if you have a blender, you can blend it up, but you can make it nice and creamy, and it will change the flavor a little bit. But it makes it makes you a creamier shake.
Yeah, it's like it's
beautiful. Exactly. So that's gold right there. So guys, when you're on the journey, you're putting on muscle, you're burning fat. Your body's going to need more energy. In order to continue burning that fat, you got to fuel the fire. You got to actually eat more of the right foods, such as you said, fats and proteins.
And understand, Bob, that this is probably going to be 3-4 shreds in, specifically for people that are going to lose, 30+ pounds or so. If the body's going to lose a lot of weight, understand a lot of that is being held on because of the inflammation, the non-alkalinity inside the body, the fact that we're feeding bad gut bacteria versus good gut bacteria. So all that's happening, and now we've switched that. So it's going to take a little while for the body to catch up. But when it does catch up and that time comes, boom, you pull this tool out, smash through your plateau, and play around with a couple things too. Maybe your magic point is an extra 200 a day. Maybe it's 150. Maybe it's 300. Who knows, right? Depending upon the person, people have to start trusting themselves. We're teaching people how to be their own doctor, how to be their own prescriber. I'm giving you things that I do, but you have to tweak them to you. It's very, very important because my food could be your poison.
So I got another question in here. Same concept. I hit a weight that I haven't weighed since high school.
Yep.
Senior year in high school.
Yep.
So
Yep.
the good news is I'm not going to junior high. I mean, I've leveled off. I'm at 185, 187, 188. I'm staying. I am eating more, but I haven't changed my diet at all, right? So, but it's a question. Oh, Jesse, I don't want to lose any more weight, so I got to get off the ER shred. The answer is no. How do I maintain? You're just going to find that. You said homeostasis. You want to find balance.
Okay,
that
dude, here's the thing.
Is balance, right?
So everything that we've talked about in this conversation, the cellular markers, the parts of, we didn't even get into the cleanse with the autophagy and all the other good things that we have. Why in the world would you stop any of that? Like, why would you keep spiking the insulin when you know how bad it is? Why would you not maintain it when you now know how to control it? Like, you keep doing all that. The only thing that you do, Bob, is you up the foods and you can play around. Like, I have probably a list of, let's call it 30 foods. Okay. So my day starts off with butter coffee, and then it goes into a massive smoothie bowl, which is probably somewhere around like 900 calories. I take our incubated shake. I turn that into my own smoothie bowl with, flax and chia and almond butter and a couple berries. And it's my jam. Okay. That's after my workout. Then throughout the day, my snacks are typically the same. It's a beef stick from Chomps. It's it's two things of Kerrygold cheese sticks. It's a yogurt, Icelandic yogurt that doesn't have added sugars. It's all natural. It's whole milk. It's another incubated shake. It's one of our meal replacement bars. It's a quarter cup of mixed nuts, almonds, pecans, walnuts. That's usually my snacks throughout the day to last me at work. Then when I come home, my dinner, like tonight, I had 4 scrambled eggs with 2.5 tablespoons of butter, 2 grass-fed hot dogs mixed in there. I had some peppers, some onions mixed in there in my egg scramble. I had some sauerkraut. I had a stuffed prosciutto pepper. I had 3 pieces of bacon. I had 2 more slices of Kerrygold cheese. You see, I'm still eating the foods that are fueling me, the good quality protein, the healthy fats.
But you're fueling your workouts. You found the zone where you need to eat in order to maintain your objective,
that
your goal.
Is a lot of food.
That's
right?
A lot of food. Oh, you eat a lot more than I do.
That's a lot of food, okay? But that food sustains my weight and allows me to keep building lean muscle slowly and maintain what I have, plus train at the endurance levels. So take that concept. Take what I'm sharing with you. Use those same foods. And sometimes I'll have a little side salad. Sometimes I'll have some fried veggies and butter. I'll saute some cauliflower. I'll mix up things like that. But for the most part, Bob, my days are that. That's my foundation. And then the only thing I really play around with is like dinner. And that goes from like an egg scramble to a steak with still eggs, but just not 4. It goes to 3. And it's still bacon and it's still cheese. It's just steak instead of extra eggs and hot dogs tonight. And then one night it's a burger, but there's still eggs because there's nutrition and butter in that. It's still the foundation. And I only play with a few things. And then on vacations or when I take a trip or when I do things, like that's when I'll play around a little bit. But for the most part, every day, why would I want to change? Have you ever seen my energy go away? Do you know how crazy life is? Like, it's still, why would I change this? This is my point that I'm trying to stress. This is why you keep doing the ER shred. I'm not doing this to lose weight.
I'm waiting for the baby to arrive to see if there is a dent to your energy level, even a small one.
Am I going to get a little bit less sleep? Yeah, but you know what? My cat already wakes me up all night long, 7 times a night. So I've already been practicing for years because she's crazy at 17 years old. Like, I don't know how she's still living, but that's what she does. She wants to play at nighttime. So I don't know if it's going to make a dent, Bob. Like, I feel like
maybe not.
Am I going to have a couple off days? I'm ready for it. Am I going to be
Superman
every day?
Fatherhood's the best.
But here's the thing. I'm going to balance the stress. I'm going to balance the cortisol. I'm going to balance the insulin, and I'm still going to feel good. Does that make sense? That's
totally.
What people keep going.
We've got the community. It's on fire. It's about ready to explode. I mean, I think we're coming into the time of the year where this thing is really going to ignite. We had our first group of early adopters, like in any company. People have said, I'm in. People have been watching. People have been waiting for us to fail. I think this thing's going to get big. What is your, I mean, we talked about this earlier tonight. When we built ER Shred, it was based upon abundant thinking. It wasn't out of compliance. It wasn't scarcity. It wasn't a limited mindset. It was anything's possible. What do you think is possible with our group going into the next year? We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. Year 2, I think, is where we hit pay dirt. But what do you think is the potential? I mean, you've said it before, but I think it's worth hearing again.
So I think the potential with the group is that we have the ability to literally double the group. No, not double. Triple the group in size. I think we can get to 60,000 people. We're at 23,000 now. I think we can hit 60,000 in 1 more year. I think that, we're growing right now at 500 to 600 new people wanting to get into our community every single week. That's gone through the summer. That's supposed to be the downtime. The word is getting out there, the ripple effect. Like, we are lighting people up from the inside out, and people can't help, but people can't shut up. Like, people can't stop talking. It's everywhere. It's in the groups. It's in other groups. People show up to work. They see people that they haven't seen in years. And because majority of the world is hurting, like we've already identified, people look at that person that's come alive and they can't help but ask, like, what the hell is going on? I think we're going to see people have more confidence. I think people are starting to realize that it's selfish to hold something like this in when you know that you can help, whether it's even, your loved ones that you care about, or other friends, or, multiple strangers like I'm in now. Like, I tell everybody about this because I just believe that everybody deserves it. I think we have the ability to continue to reach people on a global level. We're already in multiple countries. Our fulfillment company, we have the ability to be in every single country, even if we have to modify this a little bit. The foundational protocol of the ER Shred is still the foundational protocol. Even if different countries have different things, we can still make it work. I believe that in my soul, because we're teaching people the foundation of good food plus proper supplementation, the ancestral way plus the 21st century. But we got no gimmicks. We got no marketing schemes. We got no sleazeball tactics. We got no, like, you have to go all in. Like, you have to go all in on one thing. Only one thing. You have to go all in on you. We don't need to break your piggy bank. We don't need to, I think the potential, Bob, is so unlimited, because what we're seeing with the results that people are coming back with, right? We can't claim to treat or cure or prevent disease, obviously, but we can't deny the stories of individual shredders, and they have the right to share their story. And I have the right to share their story, which is not mine, but I mean, the stuff that we've seen on a blood level, on a cellular level, on a mental level, on, the medical industry. People are going to their doctors, and their doctors are now asking questions. They're like, what the hell? And I mean, let that be a wake-up call. Doctors have been prescribing pills and treating these patients for years, and within 21 days or 33 days, they're going back to their doctor, and their doctor's like, who the hell?
They don't understand.
How the hell did you do this? Let that be a wake-up call.
One thing I want to, we've all managed groups, especially for those that have been with this business for a while. I do want to say this about our ER Shred community. We value each and every one so much, and we're so grateful for all of your participation. But one thing that is unique, I've never seen people go on, do their own lives or doing their own Facebook posts, their before and after pictures, but people are doing it voluntarily, not being asked to put it up. They're doing it anyway. And I think that in every group I've been before, it's like, oh, Jesse, you got to put your before and after picture up. Oh, can you do this? Can you make sure you post and help out? We want to get up the algorithms. Make sure you post on Wednesday, I'll post on Thursday, whatever. We are always trying to promote people to become active in the group. With the ER Shred community, it's literally a bonfire where it's like, whoa, I literally wake up every morning and I'm blown away. By the time I get up at 6, Mimi's already out there doing her live, and there's about 10 or 15 other people that have put their posts up for the day, right? But it's like nonstop energy. But again, we're a volunteer army, but people are excited and they're showing it by their activity.
It's absolutely mind-blowing, Bob. It's so hard to describe this because there's so much depth, but it's like when you got somebody who you watch come in and at first they don't even say anything because they're so shy. They have no confidence in themselves. They can't even look themselves in the mirror and smile. I mean, Bob, that's sad. We have to understand. We have to understand how much health impacts daily life. We have to stop lying and being like, oh, as long as you just pretend to love yourself, no. Enough of this bullshit. Like, enough of this bullshit. Like, seriously, it's not okay. It's not okay to be unhealthy. It's not okay to not be, happy. And what we're realizing, Bob, is when people address their health from an inner level, it's affecting the mind because it's affecting the gut. It's affecting the confidence. It's affecting the mood. People now want to actually get in pictures and smile. I'm sorry, Bob, but that is life-changing for somebody who usually hid from pictures and doesn't have any pictures with their kids, and now they're happy to get in those pictures. Do you understand how that drastically changes life? Or how somebody didn't have confidence at work to stick up for themselves and means that they couldn't get a promotion for the last 5 years because they got passed over because they weren't shy, they just weren't confident. And now they bring that confidence out. And they're showing that confidence and they're feeling comfortable enough in this group. That makes me so proud to know that we've created a welcoming community for every walk of life that feels so open. Like, I mean, this world is a mean place. People are going to fucking eat you up, dude. Excuse my language. I dropped one F-bomb this thing, but people are not nice people. People are going to bash you for everything you do. And the more you succeed and the more people are miserable and failing, they're going to bash you harder. And to have a group where people will love you and people will celebrate you and people won't just say, oh, you know what? It's okay if you trashed yourself. They're going to say, you know what? You don't deserve that. Let's get back going again. That's love. That's true love. That's people giving from a place that I've seen people give from in a long time. I haven't given from that place in a long time, if I'm being honest with you. I was in this fake cloud and this just is just so raw and so real. And I love that about this. Like, people can be who they are. And you're welcome. You are perfect just that way. Do you know what I mean? We want to make you healthier because we know that it makes life better, but you're still okay. You're still okay, And I don't know how else to sum it up, but it's just something so special, Bob.
It's something so special. But what I would suggest if you're watching this, guys out there, go to ershredders.com, join our Facebook group, and just check us out. I mean, we invite everybody. We just play nice. But here's the thing is that I've never seen anything quite like this as far as a community of support, a community of love, people who aren't even financially connected, but everybody's willing to give their shirt off their back to help the next person out to make sure that they have a good experience. You're right. I think we will hit 60 this next year.
It's amazing to see people that, whether it's taking them 21 days or 33 days or 50 days, whatever, at that point when they feel it, their first thing that they feel that they should do is come back in the community that helped them get to where they are. And I mean, this is leadership, baby, right? This is creating natural leaders. And what does the world need? We need more leaders. We need to stop following, right? We need more people. And what's the first thing they do, Bob? They reach back down. They're where they are, and they reach back down to pull the next person up. I mean, gosh, come on, dude. Like,
it's as good as it gets. I've never, no, I haven't been this excited about this particular business. I think we hit nirvana. I mean, this is like, holy cow, is this heaven? I mean, because we feel so good and we're with like-minded individuals who want the same. It's just magical. Come join our bonfire. It's getting really big, but we want to make it mammoth. We want to make it bombastic, huge, epic. Jesse, man, this was fun. Thanks, buddy. I liked interviewing you.
Yeah, man. I think we touched on a lot of things that we've seen come up in the group. The biggest thing is, people get those results and they want to go long term. We're going to do more about that. I promise you. Let's get through this little crunch time right now. And then I promise we got more coming for you. We're not going anywhere. I need people to know that from our perspective of the board, me, you, Susan, Heather, Sean, Crystal, we are committed to long term. I mean,
absolutely.
I have a number. Like, I'm so happy every day that this is not a negative to me. You know what I mean? Like, this fuels me. It allows me to feel like I'm just putting back good into the world. It's my repayment, if you will. It's just what I like. It just watching people come alive. It's just something so special to help other people.
No, I said that to Sean. I go, your parents got started in their mid-50s, and look what they've created. I go, we're just getting started.
I mean, dude.
Peter was 58 years old. Jimmy Smith was 74. Look at the impact he made. The impact that ER Shred's going to make in this world, it's going to be mind-boggling looking at the next 10, 15, 20 years. But yes, we're in it to win it. We're in it for the long term. We're going nowhere. But Jesse, thank you.
Yeah, man.
I'll let you end your call, man.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you as always, guys. Every single Tuesday, we do another deep dive. Next week, it's going to be literally fireworks. I mean, the interview that I have next week, this guy is such a personality. He literally should be on a TV show or a radio show or something like that. But he's definitely going to bring it. And he's 5 shreds deep right now. So we're showing more lifestyle every Tuesday. Tomorrow night, Bob, we have our Shred Your Testimonial call. And where can people find that easily? Because that call is really something special.
ER Shred, it's going to be in our ER Shred group. It'll be on our Zoom call. You can find at the top of the banner. You can find the Zoom call link if you want to get on live. Like Mimi likes to be on live, which is great. It's kind of good to see people's faces. And then in addition to that, obviously, we stream it into all the groups. I think we do it in this business as well as ER Shred.
But that call is special because we just had another ER Shred end, our summer shred, and the results have poured in. I know tomorrow's call is going to be a tearjerker. Every Wednesday night is.
They're so good. They're so good, Jesse. I put it on my own page now. I stream it into my own page for everybody to see because it is unbelievable.
And also, I don't know if people know, but we now have the streams going in. We have the different platforms. We have the ER Shred YouTube channel. And because of Crystal Escobar, we now have our own ER Shred podcast. For those of you that want to listen while you're working out, while you're in the car, there is a way to get positivity in your life every single day, every single way, every single day. And then on Thursdays, Bob, we have your call, which is more of the opportunity side of things because we have a place for everybody. And for somebody who has come alive and they maybe want to help some other people and they're looking to maybe get some, free food from our fulfillment company or they want to make a little bit of extra, we have that opportunity as well if they
dude, I gotta correct you on your use of power words. We got to stop using Thursday night as an opportunity. That kind of like deadpan flat. What Thursday night is we want to basically make an environment, a healthy environment, allowing people to share and feeling good about sharing. We want to share it because if we were to grow to 60,000, it's not going to happen if we keep our mouths shut. It's only going to happen if we're willing to be sharing what's going on. You don't have to put it, but I choose to put the Wednesday call on my own Facebook page. My view is if one person watches this that's a stranger and they go, wow, what is this? I might impact another life. You don't know whose life you're going to change for the positive, right? And that's what we're all about. But yes, Thursday night, not an opportunity call, but much as we want to share ER Shred going forward. We want to grow the group through sharing. Sharing is caring. Thursday night, sharing is caring call, basically.
Okay. So I was correct. So Thursday, share the shred, join Bob. Same thing, 8 p.m. We make it very easy for people. Again, in all the places, just show up. You know what I mean? You deserve it. Everybody deserves it. We believe our health is our greatest wealth. And our mission is to help everybody realize how amazing they already are. You know what I mean? You might be clouded right now, but we really want to help you come alive, keep it simple, and help you just feel awesome. So, Bob, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jesse.
Stay with us. Hope you all have an amazing night. We'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.